Styrofoam takes 500 years to decompose. Since it cannot be recycled, styrofoams dumped in landfills, gutters and canals are there to stay. Styrofoam has the potential for major ecological impact. The announcement from the Lagos State government to ban the distribution of styrofoam and other single-use plastics in the state with immediate effect comes from the menace the product has become over the years to the environment and even to the health of man. Its indiscriminate use in dumping drainages, clogging them up, leading to flooding in some parts of the city, finds its way into the sea. It disrupts the ecosystem. And this is the focus on Panorama today. Be reminded that you can follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on the screen for updates. I am Adeola Komiakere. Thanks for joining us. We will be right back. President Bola Tinubu says his administration will not relent in addressing corruption and other vices, as it is a sacred duty to ensure that the country is set right for the prosperity of all Nigerians. The president said this when he received the leadership of the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, at the State House. State House correspondent Musbao Dan Wahab reports.
2023 pre-election campaigns recorded yet another dimension in divisive methods. The Muslim ticket of the All Progressives Congress (APC) generated hues and cries, and so capitalized on by politicians for political gains. The outcome left a thick line between the two major religions.
The general elections of 2023 have come and gone, and by the grace of God we have a sitting president in the person of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. And so the leadership of CAN decided to come to pay a courtesy visit, to congratulate him on his election, and to pledge our support for his administration.
Now President of all Nigerians, President Bola Tinubu, received the leadership of the Christian Association of Nigeria, and the president emphasized the role of faith leaders in fostering unity and peace in the country. President Tinubu called on Christian leaders to support the administration's ongoing fight against corruption by encouraging Nigerians to have a change of mindset on money-related matters. Acknowledging the role of religious leaders, the president implored them to continue to preach tolerance, perseverance and hope for Nigerians. He called for dialogue, as he said public condemnation of a nation is not what makes any citizen a good one. The association commended the social and economic decisions taken so far by the president toward repositioning the country on the path of better prosperity.
Oh no, sincerely, what we found out is that the president is actually sensitive to all these challenges that we have. You know, he is aware, and we see him making very positive steps even from the beginning of his administration by the way he has made the appointments so far. He has come with a great sense of inclusiveness, and Nigerians are having a sense of belonging.
They want Nigerians to be patient with the government of the day for the benefit of its policies and programs to manifest.
So we believe that now we have a listening president, and we urge him to continue on that path and to continue to always look out for those who mean well for this nation and put them into good use.
It was the first visit of the association to the president since assumption of office. in the State House. Musbah Dan Wahab, NTA News.
All internally displaced persons camp will be closed down before the end of Governor Babagana Umaru Zulum's administration and resettle all displaced communities. The governor stated this when he took the resettlement project in Ngala local government area of the state as part of a one-day engagement in Dokwa Emirates. Mohammed Gone reports.
9 years of displacement had led to deterioration of the mostly mud houses in this community, in response to which Borno State government constructed 500 houses allocated to the 500 returning heads of households. In addition to the houses, each head of household also received a bull and a cow, a bag each of rice and maize and household items, as well as 50,000 naira, while each of their spouses received 20,000 naira. The beneficiaries described their resettlement on their ancestral homes as a pleasing development, having stayed in IDP's camp for close to a decade. Governor Babagana Umaru Zulum appreciated the federal government and donor partners for contributing to the stabilization strategy fund through UNDP and urged the returnees to develop resilience by remaining in their community and engage in livelihood activities.
We are trying to address the root causes of the insurgency, which is reducing poverty. People who are living in the IDP are living in the IDP camp for about a decade, depending on handouts from governmental and non-governmental organizations. And this is not sustainable. Today we have seen a sustainable solution, which is resettlement of people back to their communities in a dignified manner.
Shehu Abdikwa Ibrahim Ibn Umar Ibrahim El Kanemi, Senator representing Borno Central Kakashau Land, Member representing Bamangala Kala Belge Zainab Jimba, Member representing Gala Bukar Abacha, and Gala Local Government Caretaker Chairman Abdurrahman Abdul Karim collectively expressed gratitude to Governor Zulum for the passion to resettle all displaced communities and urged the returnees to reciprocate the gesture by being committed to a better post-insurgency life in their community. In Maiduguri, Mohammed Goni, NTA News.
Governments of Nigeria and India are set to deepen their bilateral relations by reviving the Nigeria-India Joint Commission earlier established to enhance trade and adopt inclusive approaches in addressing complex issues facing the two economies. The decision reached the signing of a memorandum of understanding between Nigeria and India in Abuja. Garba Natala reports.
India's Minister of External Affairs reciprocated the visit to Nigeria, who was warmly received at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Without much ado, the Indian delegation entered an engaging bilateral meeting with the Minister of Foreign Affairs, alongside several representatives from relevant ministries and agencies. Among those representatives was the Director General of NTA, represented by the General Manager of NTA International, Oganya Simon. So far, India remains Nigeria's biggest partner with more than $27 billion investment, highlighting India's readiness to improve the socio-economic well-being of the two countries.
Nigeria and India have a lot in common. They're the two largest democracies on their continents, on the continent of Asia and Africa. They are the most populous, and we have a common bond. We have been friends for a long time. The brotherhood continues to get stronger.
His Indian counterpart, Subrahmanyam Jaishankar, appreciates pledging more support to strengthen ties according to their future needs.
Nigeria and India, we both face big health challenges. How do we make medicines, health facilities affordable and accessible? So that is also something we will be looking at.
The signing of the agreement between the two countries is related to Nigeria's search for alternative sources of energy, especially solar and renewable energy. The two countries established the Joint Commission in 1979 to further enhance bilateral relations. In Abuja, Garb Muhammad Atala, NTA News.
The Director General, National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, Professor Mojishola Adeyeye, has debunked an online publication stating that paracetamol tablets in circulation in Nigeria are underdosed. The DG stated this when This at a news conference in Lagos, and Diana Ajale completes the report.
Following the recent report circulating on social media by a publisher that paracetamol tablets in Nigeria are underdosed, the agency has conducted a comprehensive test of the tablets to investigate the claims. Samples were collected from different pharmacy outlets in Lagos and Abuja.
Unlike 2 tablets that was used to do their testing, we used internationally recognized standards. We used 20 tablets from each manufacturer for the assay analysis. This was done by regulatory officers with verifiable analytical skills and competencies using British Pharmacopoeia, monograph 2023 edition, volume 3.
The DG assured Nigerians that the 20 tablets of paracetamol sampled met 100% pass rate, validated using British Pharmacopoeia testing methodologies for precise and reliable assessment of the dosage levels.
We assured the public that we will publish the result of our own investigation of the paracetamol tablets in Nigeria immediately we conclude testing in the agency's WHO pre-qualified laboratory.
The DG reaffirms the agency's commitment to protecting public health and safety while ensuring quality of products. The agency has also promised to continue to work with manufacturers and other stakeholders to uphold and enhance the quality of pharmaceutical products in Nigeria. In Lagos, Diana Ajale, NTA.
Let's pause here for a break. Panorama continues shortly. Do stay. To combat the menace of styrofoam in the state, Lagos State Government has announced a ban on the use and distribution of styrofoam and single-use plastics with immediate effect. Larry Bilei, who had a chat with the State Waste Management Agency, also brings us reactions of Lagos residents.
Moshood, a trader, and Aisha Muhammad, a street food hawker, and other Lagos residents bear their minds on the state government's decision.
Lagos state government banned it, so we will not use it again. I'll be using plastic to sell, then I'll tell my customers that we cannot use this one again, but that plastic one is for sale.
I don't even like it. I prefer the plastic than this. Unless I didn't see the plastic, I will just try and manage.
Yeah, but it's not only this. Even all these drinks, all these canned drinks, that one to happen inside the quarter. That one is a lot of money than this one. But if they don't want to ban it, it's okay, let them ban it.
Styrofoam is a petroleum-based polymer, also known as closed-cell extruded polystyrene foam. This clamshelled design polystyrene is common in Lagos, especially with street food hawkers to sell to customers on the go. And as a result of its non-perishable nature, it has become a menace to environment, clogging drainage channels in the city. Styrofoams are non-biodegradable. That has become a huge challenge for State's Waste Management Agency. This prompted the Lagos State government to ban the usage of styrofoam in the state.
When Lagos Waste Management Authority goes out clearing waste in the environment, we find that a larger proportion of that waste is in form of these styrofoam packs and other single-use plastics. In addition to clogging the drains and causing flooding, they also have toxic effects.
Loma Boss said advocacy programs will be initiated at the communities, markets and religious centers with a view to enlighten Lagosians before the rainy season starts. In Lagos, Larry Bilei, NTA News.
To further speak to this topic, I have with me in the studio an environmental health management expert, Leslie Adugame. Thank you for joining us on Panorama.
It's my pleasure to be here.
Okay, now, can you educate us more on the harmful environmental and health consequences of using styrofoam and other, single-use plastics?
Okay, thank you so much. I think I would rather prefer to enlighten people more than to educate, because I'm sure we don't have too much time to do that. Let me first of all start by thanking the various government institutions. We know that this came about by the Lagos State government announcement. I want to say that it's highly welcome, long overdue. We welcome it because this is what exactly the environment needs. And just to even take it further, to say that we appreciate the first statement made by the Federal Ministry of Environment, the Honorable Minister for the Environment, precisely early January, where he came up clear on this subject matter of single-use plastic and said that, well, there's going to be a ban on single-use plastic in government parastatals, in Abuja, wherever, all government
and Lagos has started it actually.
Now, to take that further, Lagos catalyzed and blazed the trail, that policy statement, by saying an immediate ban. And it's obvious because of, you just showed a documentary where you took the reflections of people, even the users, and there's no doubt the fact that the use of single-use plastic, especially styrofoam, is long overdue. So I will say that is very good, and having appreciated the government on this is the first time we can really see the government taking a very strong, making a strong policy statement in support of the environment. Immediately.
Okay.
Yeah, because before we have seen quite a lot of lip service. In environment, a statement supporting environment. In environment, there are two major wicked, what we describe as wicked problems. Number one is climate change. The second one is plastic pollution. And for the state government like Lagos, a center of excellence, to come up clearly, take the wheel, take the bull by the horn to make that categorical statement, we welcome it. Now, having said that, let me respond to that question clearly. I think the subject matter of SUPs, I use the word SUP, single-use plastic, where styrofoam belongs. And I tell you, just like Loma GM said, styrofoams are low-hanging fruit. What are basically SUPs? Why are they dangerous? Single-use plastic in a city like Lagos, in a mega city like Lagos, shouldn't have any place. And why are they dangerous? One, single-use plastic are not recyclable. They cannot be reused. They are, they are supposed to just be used and thrown away. You can't recycle them. So why do you have to, in this generation, use a substance? And that's why all the drainages are clogged with styrofoam and single-use plastics.
Now, yes. How then will this ban? You have made mention of clogging, as we also saw in that report. Now, what other effects do you think this ban will have on Lagos as a state and its ecosystems?
Okay, before I go into that, let me really make a point as to the real problems we have with styrofoams and single-use plastics, beyond just clogging. The narrative before now, the way we see single-use plastic is, solid waste material. And that's where Loma comes in. Solid waste. Plastics are seen as solid waste material. They block drains, and all that. It's beyond that. The global narrative and understanding, if you want to effectively manage plastics, and especially single-use that accounts for over 80 to 90 percent of the waste components in the municipal areas, you have to think beyond looking at it from solid waste point of view. And what do I mean? A plastic material is made up of two major items, carbon and chemicals. And in Nigeria, nobody's talking about the chemicals. Of course, the GM Loma mentioned toxic. The toxicity of plastic is what we should be addressing. And if people can properly understand the toxicity of plastic, and I tell you, you don't need to appeal to anybody. People on their own will just deliberately or willingly stop using it. I mean, look at this material. This is a styrofoam. Look at the young man there. Say, why should I use this? Now, the toxicity here, in terms of biodegradability, it doesn't degrade. You said over 500 years.
Yes.
But there are chemicals that are used in stabilizing these plastics, all plastics, and there's this one that is called forever chemical. Just Google it. When you hear the word forever chemical, then you understand that it's forever there.
Okay.
And what is the dangers inherent in these chemicals that are used in doing this? They are endocrine disruptors. Let me break it down, not so that it doesn't become too verbose. Endocrine disruptors are chemicals that mimics like hormones in the body. You know,
it can mix.
Yeah, they disallow the normal hormonal system to function.
So at the end of the day, what now happens to the individual?
That's why you have cases like cancer.
Okay.
You have cases like reproductive health issues. You have cases like premature abortion. You have cases like, all sorts of health problems are compromised. And you have a lot of people today who are going to the hospital. The hospitals are filled with different health problems, majority of them as a result of these EDCs, what we call EDCs, endocrine disruptive chemicals. And they are all in plastic. So you do not look at plastic only from the point of view. People have to understand that plastic is not only from the point of view of solid waste, blocking the drains, but the chemicals inherent in this. Studies have shown when you put this, or when you store food in this plastic, and for example, some people will put them in the microwave, all the chemicals leach into food and becomes dangerous to humans. So we can go on and on to talk about the public health impact of plastics.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Leslie Adugame. You have actually, delved into the main reason why the state government has put a ban on the use of styrofoam, and is left for Lagosians and Nigerians, to stop the use of that styrofoam. Moving on now. There was a drama at the Plateau Assembly as sacked 16 PDP lawmakers attempted entry into the chambers following the Supreme Court's judgment that affirmed the victory of Governor Caleb. Gochi will bring us that report.
Here at the old government house, Plateau State. This is where the members of the Plateau State House of Assembly met this morning, and with the insinuations that were ongoing that the 16 members of the PDP, that their elections were annulled by the Court of Appeal, will resume. We learned they actually came, but they appealed to their people to remain calm, that they are not officially resuming until they get the further explanations or further clarifications from authorities on what it means. That is following the affirmation of the election of Governor Caleb Mutfwang. So now that the PDP, according to the Supreme Court, has a foundation, or has a foundation, they will wait and now get the interpretation from the relevant authorities before resuming or otherwise. For now, because of all that is happening, sitting has been postponed, so no one exactly knows when the members or when sitting will now resume for members of the Plateau State House of Assembly. But I think that will be communicated shortly.
Thank you, Caleb. And now it's time for us to take some sports news.
Attention of football-loving Nigerians turned to Group C last group game Tuesday, as the Super Eagles is scheduled to play the second-place team in Group C, which is either Cameroon or Guinea, in the round of 16 matches at the ongoing AFCON in Cote d'Ivoire. Analysts who described Eagles' last group game as fair performance want the team to work on converting chances to goal.
We are not actually presenting our best, even though we have qualified through the back door.
But all the same, I wish them all the best. But if they are still going to play the same way, I doubt if we are going to progress any further in this tournament.
Cameroon needs an outright win against Gambia to keep hope alive at the tournament, while group leader Senegal with 6 points will play second place Guinea for formality's sake. In Group D, Algeria needs the maximum points at stake, while Angola and Burkina Faso need a draw to stand a chance of progress.
And that's Panorama from Lagos Network Center. Thank you for spending this time with us. I am Adeola Komiakere. Enjoy the rest of the day.